Hello, beautiful people. Today I'm going to a fashion event where it's called fashion viewing. So there's going to be a dinner hosted by 3 different restaurants in Ilum in Copenhagen, and I've selected one, and then there's going to be like a fashion show of the upcoming fashion trends for spring. So before that, I'm just, trying to relock my sister locks, and then I'll just do a quick, simple, easy makeup for later today, and then I can just freshen it up. But what I want to do now is to show you. Somebody asked me how I maintain my sister locks. For people who don't know how to take care of their hair, they will need a loctician to retighten their locks. But for me, I actually do my own reties, and there's like trial and error where I've interlocked some locks, but so far I think I've managed. It's almost 3 years now. Actually going on my 4th year, where I have my locks. So I think I'm doing pretty good. So what I use is this tool. I don't know if you can see it. When I bought them, there was like 3 sizes. The smallest, this is actually the smallest, and a bigger one if you have thicker locks, just for traditional locks, and then even a bigger one. So this one for me works perfectly because my locks are from thin to slightly just before medium. That's what I use. You can find it online, and just a random water bottle spray that I put some water in it for hydration each time I lock, and that's it. So I am sure there are so many ways to do the locking method, but I follow my own pattern. So I have the lock, and then I'll just hold, making sure that I don't mix the locks. And I don't know if you can see, and then I'll go back, and lastly go up. And if I want to make it more tighter, I can repeat this, but I don't like to make it extra tight. It's just to take care of my scalp, also because I've got a tender scalp. I can feel when I've retightened my locks. And then the next one, just a little spray on the roots of the hair, and maybe sometimes just brush to remove whatever hairs. I have a lot of gray hairs that are just meddling with my normal hair, and they have a different texture, so they're all over the place. Unruly type of hair, I call them unruly. And then I have to go down. I always have to think, and I can't do this without looking in the mirror, and then I will mess the grid. And it usually takes me hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours if I do it straight. But if I do it like, splitting it into days, then it takes the time that it takes. And I can still, it's not like when you do braids that you can't, if your hair is unfinished, you can't go out. I can just spray some water, shake my hair, and then go out. I don't know if you can see. There. And so if you are one of those people who are considering sister locks, like I said in my previous video on my sister locks, is that you need to be mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually ready to be able to. Financially, it means that you can afford to have them done by a professional, so that you're very happy with the results. And physically, that you're able to sit down and manipulate your hair, and you know how your hair texture looks like. emotionally, it requires a lot of emotional investment in doing this every 4 to 5 weeks. And so you can't just, you can't wing it, you can't wing it. And if you don't have the patience, then maybe it's best to, if you still want them, it's best to do it and then hire someone to interlock them for you. It can be a friend, it can be someone who's very particular about their hair, because you also want them to be maintained to to the closest of the to keep the integrity of the grid, because that is what is special about sister locks, is the grid method, that you can style it however you want. And traditional locks, there's no grid method, right? So you don't really need to worry about keeping the lines separate. And this is what I would sit and do, and normally I would put on a Netflix playing in the background. Actually, this is fine, but to make sure that I don't mess it up, I prefer to just sit in front of the mirror. I have a mirror in front of me, and it's also about feeling. When you can't see, you sort of, I don't know if you can see, you feel your way around, and separating so it's also very dependent on really using your fingertips to feel if there's any hairs tangled or getting tangled with the lock. Yeah, and I've had some incidents where because I ran out of patience or just getting tired, it just when it gets too fast, this is where I make a lot of mistakes. So this is how I retie my sister locks. So this is what I would do. I'll just do this line. And I like to separate the ones that are done so that they don't get in the way and get mixed up with the ones that I am still working on. Again, making sure that there aren't any stray hairs that are getting stuck that belong to the lock next door to this one. Trying to separate as much as I can. And I'm always holding the bottom of the hair so that I make sure I get all the new growth, if it makes sense. So, and when they're nicely, freshly done, they look so nice. And yeah, and I don't have to think about it I don't have to think about doing this for the next 5 weeks, which is really, really nice. And I think that's what I said last time when I said that at some point I decided that I was done dealing with my hair. I just needed a break. And maybe it's also because it's connected to me going through perimenopause, that I have days where I'm just not feeling like moving, like doing anything, right? So let alone and sit and spend hours on my hair, but I still want to look groomed and neat and taken care of, so I can still manage to do that with my locks, because even if the 5 weeks have passed, they still look decent. So yeah, so this is it. I'll do the last one. You see why I have to use a mirror? Because if I don't look, I start mixing the pattern. So it's, and as you can see, some of them are thin, so they really need to be taken care of. I need to be extra gentle. I don't know if you can see. And I've got a lot of gray hairs. I think that's just it. You can't avoid it. A lot of gray hairs at the bottom. Can't see them. I guess you can see at the front. Need to separate. There. You can see all these beautiful gray hairs. Yeah. So that's how I lock my hair, my sister locks. And when I'm finished, I still have a lot at the back. I started the front first, and then I'll finish at the back. And when I start on the front, it means that I can still look decent, fresh, new hair on the front, and I can go anywhere. And then later when I can come back home and continue the work. And that's what I meant also last time, that you use your arms a lot, your muscles, so you also get very, very toned arms. So there's just so many benefits about sister locks, right? I'm trying to sell them to you. So this is how they will look like when I'm finished. And on a day when I just want to leave them, let them do their own thing, this is how they look like. So patience and love for your own hair and how it grows out of your head, and just celebrating the beauty of our black hair. Like, so this is the new, freshly, and you can see here at the back, this is where they're still not. So, are you wearing sister locks? Would you like to start sister locks? Are you considering sister locks, or do you have any questions about sister locks? This is part of my beauty ritual when I need to take time away from anyone. I don't need to talk to anyone, spend a day just taking care of myself. I do this. But today I'm planning to go out. So let me know what you think, and if you have any questions about my hair, what type of hairstyles are you rocking, and what type of hairstyles would you like to try?